Stream is up and running. Excellent. All right. Let's fire up Lords of Ponykeep. There we go. That should be a good enough level. There we go. Good day, and it is I, Icarus LunarGuard, otherwise known as, well, under many different names. And No Lunar Religion I see over there on the chat. Hi. So I'm going to be showing off the current edition of Lords of Ponykeep, which is now at 0.06 alpha, only because I don't have to worry about showing off anything that Azimuth does not want us to show off, which is excellent, which is good. I'm one of those folks that have been lucky enough to try out the game both under Linux and Windows, and right now I'm using just the Windows edition. Under Linux, it's been doing very well for itself. There has been a small problem of the latest build has been doing something very weird with the way that the graphics have operated. So Azimuth has actually helped me out a little bit on that. But because of the way that things work, I'm just going to be showing this off. Now, Lunar, since you're asking, very quickly, Lords of Ponykeep is, well, I'm going to show it off for you in a couple of moments. It's a rather interesting little project that Azimuth started building. It was one of those things that was not like anything I had personally seen before. It has a lot of different elements that would be dungeon crawler-esque. What some people have told me would be like Japanese RPG, JRPG type stuff, but it's really cool to see how this has evolved. And this is the version where things have finally gotten to me where it's just like, okay, this is really damned impressive. So let me give you a real quick look-see as to how everything operates. The whole premise is that someone has created this game for you, or at least that's the way that the write-up on the side of this goes on. And, some of us have kind of likened it to Paper Mario with part of the look of the way that this works. We love the style. We absolutely love the style for the ponies that are here. And there have been a lot of debate, believe it or not, with, of all things, with the minutia, the eyes. Because the question was, do we want to have the eyes all solid, or do we want them to have actual, iris with a dot in the middle, whatever. And at this point, there were a lot of pieces that don't make any real difference in how your pony operates. There will be differences as things go along. So, as you go to customize your character, male, female, doesn't matter. Nothing changes on that angle. Nothing changes on the overall size of your character. Doesn't matter. And as you go customizing, you get the opportunity of seeing what they look like as you go along. With all kinds of horse noises. Because who doesn't like horse noises? And because of all the customizations, if you just decided, I want random, you get random. You get some very, very random looking guys, which is all kinds of things. So as far as to the different types, as a matter of fact, I was just going to tell you that. There are several choices at the moment that are available, some that are locked up, and some that have got some interesting pieces to them. Earth ponies, of course, generic starting off point. Unicorns, because, of course, magic users have to be there. Pegasi, because wings. Wings. Are there bat ponies? Well, yes, but they're not called that. They're called Vespers. And yes, that is, of course, my choice if I was given the opportunity. But, be that as it may. Hippocampi are also planned, as are the Kirin, and alicorns. Funny note, playtesters do have the ability of unlocking alicorns to test them. I will not be showing that, because in order to show that, I would have to input a specific code. How that code is input is a little bit of a secret. What the code is semi-secretive, but the how you put the code in absolutely is. But I'm going to be showing off the Vespers because I'm a bat pony. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Customization, you've got plenty to choose from. Like I said, with the randomization, you could just keep clicking and clicking and clicking. And I did the math. There are several millions upon millions of combinations that you could work with. And again, at this point, it really doesn't make any real difference. The only piece that I find amusing is the different types of wings. Again, they don't make any real difference. I'll just stick with the ones that I like the best, which are these, because they look like, for me, extra arms and hands. Moving on from there, you can trade out your different coloring schemes because, well, that's kind of the way that it works. It doesn't matter how you want it to look. If I'm going to go a little bit closer to my own design, I'm going to go into the purples a little bit. I don't think there were any locks in here. No. And the various extras, well, the extras start getting into things like torso marks and facial marks and foreleg marks and hind leg marks, which if I'm going to do these, you know what? Yeah, that's close enough for me. Yeah, that's close enough for me. You can also change the color of the eyes, which again, pretty on the cool side. The quarter runes, otherwise known for some others as QD marks, at the moment don't do anything for you. They're just cosmetic. But there are several to choose from and planned for the future. Book of Opulence, Hearth Protection, you get the general idea, so that depending as to what type of extras your overall race gives you, you can kind of fill in part of the blanks with the quarter runes, which is all kinds of fun. Personally, I don't know. I haven't actually looked through some of these, but there are a number of them that are available, and some of the backers have been allowed to make their own quarter runes to be included into the system. And yes, yet again, there's a way of unlocking some of those for the playtesters. Again, I'm not going to be showing that off. Different equipment, weapons in this particular case. There are several to choose from, and each of them have different stats, and that's apparently going to become a very, very important piece as time goes on, as there are new enemies to have to deal with. Now, at the moment, this is my favorite, and there are reasons for it. Mostly because the number of targets and the range, which is good. Some of them got different, some of them don't. Apparently, ranged weaponry is something that is planned for the near future. So that's going to become much more interesting. So let's actually get into the demo and show you what this looks like at the moment. And dark magic is a possibility, sure, but there is specifically light magic. Literal light, but be that as it may. Is the test world? This is the starting off point. As you can see, you have several choices down the bottom over here for different powers and abilities. First of which, dark vision. Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It gives you the opportunity to see in the dark. It doesn't help anybody else except for the player themselves. Rustic Nectar, replenish your health. Right now, this is incredibly important because, well, there's no anything that you can find in the different places that we're going to search, and I'll show you about some of that in a little bit. Saddlebags for inventory have not yet been implemented. Stats, again, have not been implemented. And the gear also has not yet been implemented. But an item to take a look at, the kind of the meta of this, also take a look on your keyboard. The letter I, the letter O, and the letter P are in a direct line across on your keyboard. So once you've got your hand in place, you don't really have to worry too much about it. So if you can at least feel where you are, no big thing. And that also happens with the powers and abilities over here. Again, it's 1 and 2. There are others, especially like, for instance, with the alicorns, where that can go up to 5 and 6. So you've got something to work with. Yes, it is quite a work in progress. It has come a very long way. And like I was saying, at this point, no guns, no ranged weapons of any kind, but that's coming. The movement at this point is WASD, which is kind of cool. You get to hear the sound as they go along, which is great. And if you double tap, you get to gallop along. And you also notice that your health is over here, your stamina as well. So if you are sprinting, galloping I should say, it does chew up into your stamina. And this item over here with the star, that is the bad mana buildup, I guess is the best way of describing it. So those that are using magic, that builds up after a while, and it goes away after a while. If it fills too much, you can get damaged. As far as to it being a 10 out of 10, to use an old expression from the 1930s and early 40s, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because like I said, this next part, when I finally got the chance to see it, blew me away to see how far this has actually come. So we get to start off by seeing, this little section, which is kind of nice. This is a deck actually different from what it had been before. But then I saw this. This is gorgeous. This absolutely blew me away. We did not have this as part of the testing area previously. We had a small area to check out, but this, all of a sudden, this was great. The 3D effect on this is absolutely amazing. The moon in the background, of course, being a slitted eye, kind of makes us think there's an homage to Nightmare Moon, but of course, you'd never have to say that to us bat ponies, because, why would you ever say that to us bat ponies? Like we would ever need to know. So let me take you over to a section where it is dark, so you can see what happens when we activate. Ah, yes. You use up your stamina, it has to rebuild. Oh, and yes, that is water down there. And yes, you can go in the water. which is actually another very cool piece. And that does affect movement speed, apparently. So again, let's kind of go over here into the dark and show you the light up. So here we are in the dark. You can kind of see stuff. It is, of course, shadowed, but we turn on dark vision and we can see. Now again, this is not quote-unquote light. This is dark vision, which means only this character is able to see what's going on around. Yes, the implication is if you have multiple players, there are different abilities that each one of them can utilize. And yes, the unicorns do have the ability of generating light, which helps the entire party, which is a different piece. Now, a little something to look at. We have over here a couple of pots that are smoking. Why? Well, how about we pick one up, if I can get to it, there we go, and take that along for the ride, and I'll show you what these are for. These pots are, I believe the expression is, explosive. You can throw them, and they will do a very large amount of damage to anything in the blast radius. But we also have these urns that if you light them up on fire, everybody can see. And it's just a natural thing. They give out after a little while, so if you want to keep using them, you have to, flick them back on again. But otherwise, like I said, everybody gets the opportunity to see with that. So now that we've gone through that section, I need to come down. There we go. Again, light stuff up. Come over and lift onto your back. And this, as a normal pot, can also be used as a projectile. Just shift somewhere to figure out where you want to throw it, and left click and throw it away. And now that we've had the opportunity of checking out the test area, let's go take a look at an actual dungeon area. Because yes, there is an actual dungeon area. Now, fortunately, at this point, there's no way of walking off these side pieces. But it's time to take a look at some of the things that are around us. Let's pick this up so we've got something to keep ourselves safe with. But where is it? Ah, yes. On the ground, right here, you will see that there are round holes in the ground. That is a spike trap. And the problem is, it's real hard to spot some of these sometimes. And you will also notice that up in the dark, there are some enemies. They're kobolds. And there are a lot of them. And if you are very good at your aim, you should be able to get an attack in. That's not a lot of damage, but it's a start. And while they're up there, let's go ahead and do a little searching. Now, unfortunately, at this point, there are no loot boxes around. There's no treasure to be found. But for some players, it's been a challenge to try to open all of the different searchables. Let's see, can I get him? Yes, I can. But there is a problem. If they spot you, they will throw things at you, which then means it's time to get ready. For when they come around. Sometimes... Come on. Sometimes, there you go. Sometimes you'll get lucky and these traps will take out the enemies for you. If you're not careful, you can end up getting skewered by them yourself. Now, let's see. There we go. Now, one of the things that I've been finding out is that it is possible to sneak around down here and not get caught. Because as soon as they come for you, there's a lot of them that want to come get you. And let's see how well I can do this time. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Well, that's just peachy. Alright, so gave me a little bit of damage. But at the moment, I'm okay. Come on, you. There we go. Block and attack. I'm starting to get pretty good at that. I want to see how many of these boxes I can actually get through this time. I've not been very successful, because I've been trying to brute force my way through. Dang it. Okay, well, little health. Got him. Search, search, search. Okay. Aha! This is not good. I am not in good shape. There we go. This is not good. But at least I can block. And I'm getting better at that. There we go. Do I have... Nope. I am out of health. That's not good. But you know what? While I got an opportunity, let me show you what the spike trap looks like. Well, that didn't exactly work the way I wanted it to. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's no quick and easy way to get over to the... There we go. And out of stamina, which, come to think of it, yeah, that's something I'm going to have to check on. Because I would expect that the stamina should reset when you come over to the dungeon proper. Let me see if that's actually a thing. Come on, stamina. There we go. And stamina... Yeah, it doesn't reset. I will have to ask Azimuth about that. Okay. Ah, but good. These guys do regenerate. There we go. That's a problem. And... oh, that's where they're coming out of. Alright. That's a problem. Let's see. Wow. Well, that hurt. Okay, we'll go one more while we've got the time. Like I said before, this has been really, really bad on me because I'm really bad about trying to brute force my way through. And I really shouldn't. Stamina. Stamina's back into place. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Here is one of the traps. You should be able to see it right through here. You step on the trap. You get a little audio warning, but it still gets you. And then there's another audio warning to let you know that it's been reset. And up we go. Oh. I didn't know this was as high as we could go. Ah. Oh, can't get him. And oh, no, there they go. Okay, let's pick you up, search here. There we go. And as you can tell from the audio cues, right now I am not being spotted or hunted, which is very helpful. That's right, I need to be careful because I have not seen any spike traps at this point, but that doesn't mean that they're not there. And a brazier and a spike trap on the floor that I didn't even see. See, that's what happens. All right, one last trip. And here we go. Ah, now that's just cheap. Well, again, that's my fault, and that's my problem. I keep trying to brute force it, And I keep forgetting. Really shouldn't do that. But be that as it may, like I was saying, each of the different species, each of the races, I should say, have different powers and abilities. And if the randomizer, there we go, finally gives me a unicorn. I'll give you a quick look-see of what this unicorn's abilities are. From here, you have light, which actually gives you a light up for the darker areas, which means any adventurers with you can see what's going on. Teleport, which is pretty much exactly what you expect it to be. However, watch the mana, the bad mana build up over here. Teleport all the way over here. That builds up, and after a certain amount of usage, you will take damage, and there's not much of anything you can do about it. But it does, it does disperse on its own after a little bit of time. Let's light up the area. And again, this is a light that any characters can see and use, and it is building up slowly the bad mana, as you see. And all we need to do is just turn that off. No big thing. Now, number 3, Telegrab, is a really cool feature. Let me just teleport out of here. Again, not too bad. Still haven't hurt myself. That's a good sign. And teleport. See? Ooh, that actually did a massive amount of hurt. That's a problem. Actually, come to think of it, I should see if that resets also. So let's teleport over here safely this time. Light up the area so we can take a look again. Light up that brazier. Now, Telegrab. It's kind of like the inverse of teleport, but you literally say, I want that. And so long as you have got a direct line of sight to it and a certain distance, you can grab whatever and bring it to you. But again, click, boom. Now let's see, can I telegrab it? Yes, I can. Because when you hover over something that you can telegrab, you see that there is a hoof instead of a quill. Telegrab. There we go. And teleport with an object. No big thing. Let's see. Teleport. And again, we're building up a little bit of that bad excessive mana. That's a problem. But while we've got an opportunity, what happens when we go into the demo area? Does everything reset? No, it doesn't. Okay, so that is a piece that I'm going to have to ask Azimuth about. All right. That is something to know. Now, reminding you that we've got, there we go, a spike trap over there that we have to be careful about. But now that I don't have wings, I can't just fly from one level to another. I have to find somewhere. Oh, and it didn't let me take, I didn't notice that. It didn't allow me to take the explosive urn from the test area. Okay, that is something I should find out a little bit more about. And let's light up the night. Aha! There we go. So we've got a spike trap over here, but we can telegrab that guy. Kill the light, because I don't know if the kobolds are able to notice a light spell. But I don't have too much of a choice at the moment. And come on, kobold, there you are. Took him out. Telegrab that one. And he got me. Alright, fine. So there's that end. Oh, oops. I wanted to quickly get an earth pony. There we go. And the earth ponies have got, of course, the health potions at the moment, and Stomp, which, amongst other things, is able to, as you can read from it, trigger traps. So if you wanted to set one off, ahead of time, you can simply do that. Which, again, uses stamina. And builds up bad mana because you're using, And let me get us over to the test world again. The test dungeon, I mean. Now, there are going to be different different abilities for each of the different species, each of the different races, and stuff that seems to be combinations of course, do have combinations of. The Alicorns, of course, have all the abilities of the Pegasi, which are very similar to the Vespers, Earth Pony, and Unicorns. And subsequently, their stats are also much higher overall. And since I have no way of lighting up the night for myself, I have to use a brazier. So let's go ahead and pick that up. And let's set off this trap. So 3, 2, 1. And there was the reset sound. So let's see if I can remember how to put down. Yep, there it is. And if you listen, you'll hear it click. There it is. So the set. Now, obviously, it's a lot harder to see what's going on in the dark, hence the reason why going in with several different characters is going to be very helpful, but it's not impossible. Oh, that was good. Got one right on the noggin. Alright, so let's just set off this trap and get past it. And we'll kind of go from here. Now, in future, there will be things in the different searchables, but for the time being, that's not been implemented. And right now, that's okay. Like I said, it's been, for the playtesters, one of the things that folks have been trying to do is seeing how far along they can come and search, can they search everything? And here we go. Hey. Throwing rocks? That's not cool, man. But fortunately, I have a lot of health. Come on. There we go. Alright, and let's refuel on health while we've got the opportunity. Trying to search for traps at this point is very tricky in the dark. And let's blow up a cobalt. Oh! Because of that overhang, it hit the overhang instead of the cobalt. Well, that's annoying. I didn't know that that was a thing. Well done, Azzy. And I'm running out of health. Yeah, like I was saying, we don't get ranged attacks yet. The kobolds do. They just get to throw rocks at us, which is terribly annoying. Because it's incredibly difficult to see when they're coming at you. Alright. So for the time being, that is Lords of Ponykeep 06. I'm very happy to be part of this. Azimuth has been very, very cool to work with. He's been very generous with his time. And if you get the opportunity of checking it out, please feel free to search him up. That's Azimuth. And just search up Lords of Ponykeep. You can find it over on Twitter and Tumblr. He does have a Discord that he's using to talk to everybody. But beyond that, this has been a treat. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. I will be looking forward to seeing how this plays out in the coming months ahead. And Azimuth, if you get the chance to see this, just thank you. This is a real, real treat. So until next time, everybody, I am Icarus. You have yourself a safe day. And may Luna watch over you.